Hello and welcome. This is the Energy Show, and I am Sylvia Hartmann coming to you live from beautiful Eastbourne by the Sea. I am extremely excited to have this topic today, and I'm delighted that you're here with me to share some of the excitement and joy that Star Matrix has brought to my world and to many other people beside. A wonderful good morning to Lioness and Marina. How absolutely lovely to see you here. And a deep welcome to everybody who comes to watch or listen at a different time. Good morning, Revitalize. That is a great title, Revitalize Your Life. Yes, I think that's what Star Matrix does. One of the many things that it does. So let us start at the beginning. I gave an overview over what Star Matrix is and how it fits in with the general development of the Guild of Energists, which is all about the living energy body, the most important part of us that receives currently the least amount of attention. Our living energy bodies that create all our emotions and thereby how intelligent we can be. It creates our experiences in life, our star events, as well as our traumas. And of course, the living energy body is the key to human immortality. Without it, well, without the energy body, there is no soul, there is no ascension, there is no heaven. Imagine there was no heaven. Yeah, this is the society that has been so thoroughly constructed for the last 200 years or so in the Western world. And it's just not gone very well if we look at the outcomes of it. So last week's energy show was on that topic, so please do check that out. Um, it was called I Love Star Maps. We're going to go straight from here and presume that you all know what Star Matrix is, and that's wonderful. It's the focus on the high positive events in our lives for a change. And I've been getting clues to Star Matrix, and now with the wisdom of hindsight, looking back through my work, there has been so many different references to it, time and time and time again. But I myself, like everybody else, was so brainwashed that the only way we can heal is through trauma and suffering and more trauma and digging in trauma and reviewing our trauma and revisiting our trauma and finding more and more trauma wherever we go. I was just as brainwashed as everybody else, and I didn't heed those messages or I didn't understand them. Ha! Yeah, until finally the light bulb went on and I thought, I can't sit on this anymore. I have got to do something with this. And so in 2019, I started Project 11, and which then became Star Matrix, which is wonderful. So Star Matrix is brand new. It really is brand new. At the beginning, I was just super excited about it. And I was always talking about it, doing things about it. It was just super exciting. It was just such a joy to not have to think about trauma for a change. The holiday, oh, it was marvelous. And of course, the various things, the Book of Stars, the star events, the developing insight that I actually really do have superpowers and that I've had an amazing life, not a trauma-riddled one or a wasteland of a life. All these beautiful gifts that came about. And so there came a time when I started then working with other people in the Star Matrix Masters course. And here's an invitation. The last Star Matrix Masters course of 2022 starts on the 19th of September. And I do invite you, if you feel you'd like to really have a look in a very structured, organized way at your own star memories, how to access those, how to interpret the messages, how to step into them and really relive them, and how to find more and more star memories, which is particularly good for people who've done a lot of trauma work, or those who say, I don't remember a thing about my life under the age of 10, which is astonishing. But yeah, that's because the right train tracks in the brain have not been built yet. So that course starts on the 19th of September, and I look forward to this new journey to the stars with new people. This is, I believe, the 9th course that I've done. And the first one and the second and the third, as people were responding to this, because essentially Star Matrix was a theory of mine based on my experiences throughout life with myself and with many, many other people. But it was a theory until you take it out and actually involve real people in this. What happens with real people? And there's something interesting happened to me, because I thought in principle that looking at your star moments is a really good idea. And I've had experiences with clients where doing that spontaneously happened, and it was tremendously healing. But there were so many other side effects that I didn't expect to happen. I just didn't think about it or didn't know about it. And one of those was the reconnection between family members. That was veritably shocking. I mean, veritably shocking. There was a lady on one of the Star Matrix courses who had a father who had left at some point when she was a young child and was completely devastated about it. And the father was still living in the environment, but she hadn't spoken to him for 20 years. And so she's doing Star Matrix, and she retrieved a memory of getting a birthday card from her father after he left, and feeling a star memory, feeling so loved and feeling so soothed that he hadn't forgotten about her, that he was thinking about her. And of course, back in the day, she never got to respond to this in any way, to this birthday card. There was no contact allowed, and because the mother was very, very angry. These things, you know these things. But this was close to Father's Day. And so she picked up the phone. After 20 years, she phoned her father and thanked him for the birthday card. And it just blew me away. It just blew me away that we were, 4 weeks into this course, that something like this could happen. It just shocked me. It did. I mean, of course, it's wonderful and it's astonishing. And I can't even imagine how many. This would never happen, not after how many years of therapy would you have to get this woman to a place where she phones the father. And not just that, she came at this with gratitude. Thank you for that birthday card. Thank you for that memory. She came from a place of love to talk to him. That's unachievable, in my opinion, in current sort of psychology. It's unachievable. It's unachievable. And there were so many other things that just blew me away over and over again as people started to actually use this thing. Until I got to the point in 2021 that I was so overwhelmed by what Star Matrix can do for people that I just shut up. I just stopped. I was overwhelmed by it. There was a lady that even actually works for us. She encouraged a very sick elderly lady, her mother-in-law, I believe, to start a book of stars while she was on her deathbed. And the lady did. And then from what she wrote in her book of stars, these readings were made at her funeral. Which, again, this is the sort of thing that just blows me away. This is so Star Matrix, the idea of paying attention to our high positive memories, the best memories of our lives, the treasures and riches, the only thing we can take with us when we shuffle that mortal coil. The practical repercussions are so vast that I have truly struggled to try and get my head around it and to say to people, This is what, please listen to me, hear this, try this. Just for a week, please. I know it's heresy. I know it is the exact opposite what everyone is preaching. I know that. I know it. And yet I know it's right. It's true. It has the power to literally change your life. It literally change your life. And changing your life not by winning the lottery or losing weight or whatever people think is going to really change their lives, but by changing our minds about our lives, by taking evidence into consideration that has been totally brushed under the carpet. An endless trial, an endless court case where only the negative witnesses are reporting, where only the negative evidence is being put forward. And this has been going on for as long as we have been alive and thinking about things, because we are immersed in this trauma culture. And this is a race to the bottom. Who's the greatest victim? Who's got the most to complain about? Who's got the most trauma? And the more trauma you have, the higher you rise in the hierarchy of victimhood. And this is not actually rising higher in the hierarchy of victimhood. This is a race to the bottom. The more broken and angry and confused and stressed and outraged and full of hate and less love as we're going racing down to the bottom. With every injury, every insult, every trauma added, we're racing down to the bottom. We're going to hell. I know that's a big thing to say, but it is. We are going to hell with these endless negative attitudes. And this has spooled up to an insane degree in the last 8 years. This has spooled up to an insane degree. Love has been lost everywhere. Bitter accusations and hatred and strife, men against women, black against white, everybody needs to scream and fight, and this is the result of this race to the bottom. I've suffered more than you have. No, I've suffered even more. You don't even know about my suffering. I'm going to educate you about my suffering. That's the exact wrong way to go. Yeah, well, and then so I'm sitting there with Star Matrix and I realize what I've got there and that it is so much more than I ever thought it was. I thought it might be a fun energy therapy game to play. But it's just so much more than that. So much more than that. I don't know what to do with it. And then one day, sort of, I heard the voice, which I sometimes do, very rarely do I hear the voice. And it said, literally, Star Matrix is the way. That's it. That's what the voice said. And I thought, yeah, thanks for that. That's helpful. Don't you just love prophetic messages? Star Matrix is the way. But it helped me a lot because it started me, it stopped me from being so overwhelmed by this thing that I hold in my hands here. And it's somehow my job to tell people about it. And I'm doing the best I can, and it's not enough. Yeah, I get overwhelmed by the responsibility for this thing. And then there's the voice that says Star Matrix is the way. So that allowed me to stop being stuck in overwhelm and start to think to myself, the Star Matrix is the way. What? What's Star Matrix is the way to do what? To go where? Huh. Yeah, and that sort of slowly started to spool things up again and took me then forward to Star Matrix Pro and Project Superstar. And so I am now feeling not in control of this, not at all. It's just way too big for me to think in that way. But I'm coming back with this urgency that really people need to know about this. The mountains of unnecessary suffering, mental, physical, and emotional suffering that is being produced by going the wrong way, by the race to the bottom of victimhood, by the trauma orientation, by the endless pain and anger. Oh man, Star Matrix is the way to reverse that, to stop that, to reverse it, to do something else instead. So the very first thing that I thought about Star Matrix is the way. It's the way forward. That's it. This is the way forward. We are stuck in this mountains of problems, and they're getting seemingly worse every single day. There's now we've got wars and environmental meltdowns, and now we've got no heating for the winter, and winter is coming. It's just seemingly everything is getting more and more chaotic and more horrendous. And what we need above all else is something that we can do as little ant-like citizens in this vast machine where everything is out of our control. Everything in the hard is out of our control. We don't even have the Nuremberg thing with you get to decide what medical experiments are going to be performed upon you anymore. I mean, it's we have no control over gas prices and oil prices, and if or not there will be any food in the supermarkets. Our physical, practical future. And this is being stoked up and made worse, driving people into more and more stress and strife. And then we have the race to the bottom with the victimhood and the accusations and the anger. And this is dangerous. This is dangerous for all of us. How can we stop it? How can we find a way forward in this madness? And there we have Star Matrix is the way. First of all, we need to stop and we need to reassess our own individual strength, our power, our actual abilities, our proven track record of the things that we can do in order to get a different sense of being here and having the capacity to withstand all this evil. The capacity to understand that we come from a race of the ultimate survivors, and that every one of us, when put to a real test, finds sources of strength inside of them that they didn't even know they had. However, when you've done a little bit of Star Matrix, you start to become consciously aware of just how much strength you have. And that changes everything. That changes the game. That changes the future. It creates a different future from that moment forth. And I would always say with Star Matrix, a better future, more empowered future, better chance of survival at the end of the day. A much better chance of survival at the end of the day in the hard. Star Matrix is the way forward. So that was a relief to just stick with that for me, to think, right, it's the way forward. This is the way we need to go. This is the way we get out of stress. There are so few people that you can stop in the street and say, right, let's do some tapping, let's do some emo, let's do some Project Sanctuary. And they'll be like, what the hell are you talking about? Star Matrix is different. You stop a person in the street and say to them, did you know that the best memories of your life are your personal treasures and riches? And you get an instant, like, I've never thought about that, or, oh, that's interesting, or, what's this? And that is the difference between star matrix, the concept, the idea, and techniques. It's just a different thing. It is a different thing altogether. I keep making this thing. It is a different thing. It's a different entity. It's a different beast that I haven't really been able to, just sell as a thing, as an object, because it's so vast and so profound. But then on the same time, it is so simple. I believe that Star Matrix is the way to have people reconnect with their own living energy bodies as well. That's our number two thing that came along with that. Star Matrix is the way to reconnect people to their own living energy bodies. And I see Alex is here, so he'll want to do an exercise, and that's fine. Let's do an exercise, shall we? Just remember a really happy memory, whatever your dear energy mind or your soul, for that matter, would like you to remember right now. Really happy memory. Doesn't have to be from childhood, can be from 2 days ago when you had a wonderful experience somewhere. Perhaps you were in nature, or you were with friends or family, or there was just this moment of, wow, this is awesome. So I've got such a thing delivered to me. So I'm going to say thank you very much, dear Energy Mind. And I encourage you strongly to do the same, because that helps with the relationship. And the first thing that happened when I had this memory flash into my mind is these physical sensations of tingling, of warmth, of sparkling, of energy flow. So we connect with the star memory, and there's this instant sensation change, feedback. And these are pleasant sensations. They make you come to life. They put a smile on your face. They're awesome. Hey, I'm alive and life is awesome. That's evidence that we're doing something right. And any person in the street, when they start remembering something happy, and you see them coming to life and smiling, and their face color changes as there's better blood flow in their face. Their bodies start loosening up a little bit, and they're not so stiff anymore. They're laughing. And they're liking you. They find you nice, and, oh, look, this is a nice person. It feels good to be with this person. There's your evidence procedure for the living energy body creating these sensations, the 6 sense sensations. And our living energy body is telling us when we're doing something right. It's so simple, instantly provable, fast. You can go further from there and talk about energy bodies, or you can just leave it at that and smile and wish that person all the best of luck on their way through the world. And you walk down the road with a big smile on your face, because not only have you just done a wonderful thing, brought love into the world, made a person happy, so happy that they can feel that in their own bodies, put them on the right track. But in doing that, you had a great energy experience, and now you're feeling alive and more energized. That is amazing. That there's never been anything like it that I know. And it's as simple as smiling at a person and saying, "Oh, I've just come back from my holidays. Have you had any good holidays recently?" Or I asked a visiting plumber, on his way out the door. He was a nice person. Said, "Hey, just tell me something that makes you happy." And he was so surprised, but he laughed and then said a few things, and then he mentioned some more, and there was like a stream of things that came to him, and he was beaming and happier and happier. And then he said, "Nobody's ever asked me that before." Isn't that a shame? Nobody's ever asked him, what makes you happy? It's a simple question to ask. Star Matrix is the way forward. And here am I going to say something a little bit controversial, possibly. I believe that Star Matrix is the way forward for modern energy. I think it's the perfect introduction product for modern energy. That first reconnection with the real living energy body, with the emotions, through experiencing positive emotions. Through experiencing positive emotions. See, of course, nobody wants to talk about their traumas. Nobody wants to cry. Nobody wants, well, apart from the, the people in the professional victim category who will, of course, love to go there and use this as proof just how terrible their suffering is. We can do that at will. And there we have really then a decision. What do you want? Do you want to have other people feel sorry for you or gain advantage or use it as a power play in some way to wring something out of people by crying and getting angry and getting revenge and hatred and more hatred, conflict and more conflict? Or do you want to come to life, feel good, have a positive purpose, a positive, beneficial impact on your society, on your family, on your culture, on those you stand for? Decide it. Make up your mind. Which one do you want to do? Do you want to be the endless victim or do you want to be the hero? I've talked about this so many times before. So many times before. Can't be both. Make up your mind. Victim or hero? Which way do you want to go? Star Matrix or more trauma? More insults? More disrespect? More whatever? I know what I want. I know what feels good for me. I know what I want for my family, what I want for my environment, what I want for the GOE. I want us to be strong and happy in who we are, in what we do, in how we deal with other people, and how we go forth, as it were, from this moment. Yes, so guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Can you get on board with that? That Star Matrix is the way forward. That it is not just the way forward to get people's attention who would otherwise just have rejected energy work or taking care of the energy body or looking after your emotions or changing your emotions, being able to do that. There is like so many people who have no idea that you can change your emotions at all, that you can take control of them, that you can decide what kind of emotions you want to experience, at least some of the time. And, with practice, it gets better, lots better. What can I say? Now, what do you feel, guys? Do you think that I'm on the right path here with Star Matrix and use that as the thing? See, to me, it is such a gift. And even if people never do anything else with energy after that, and they just go away and learn this one thing, well, among the things that they learn, is number one, actively thinking about positive memories of their own lives is healthy, it's healing, it feels good. That's number one. Number two is sharing positive memories and asking other people about positive memories somehow miraculously makes both people feel better. If they just go away with that, having learned that, and use it as a party trick. When the family at Christmas is just about starting their big annual fight, to interject and just blurt out a star memory. Oh, do you remember that time when Uncle Bob tried to bring in the Christmas cake and he fell over and then the dog stole it and turned the whole atmosphere in the room and everybody who's in it around, and everybody's laughing now, and other people are remembering something else, and they are now adding to this ball of light that is developing, where everybody's getting together, sharing positive memories. Energy's rising, group bubble. People are feeling loved. They're feeling as a part of a family. Little kids are sitting there and absorbing that with big eyes and soaking it in and learning it. They go on to know this, that when they're older, they can do that too. Wow. Wow. Yeah. If people just do that, I would be more than happy, more than satisfied. They do not have to join the GOE. They don't have to take a course. They don't ever have to learn about Project Sanctuary or anything else. I would feel on my deathbed that I'd done a fabulous job. Just that. Just people understanding the power of positive memories and actually using that in their daily lives, wherever they go. The story from Star Matrix 1, a lady said she went to have her nails done. And so the nail lady, very nice young lady, is doing her nails. And so the Star Matrix person who was on the Star Matrix course says to the lady, "So have you been doing something fun recently?" And the lady just dropped the file and looked at her and said, "Nobody's ever asked me that before." And she sees how many people each day. And so, yeah, she got to tell some star stories, and the Star Matrix student explained a little bit about Star Matrix. And so this nail lady is hopefully now not having to sit there listening to her clients moan and complain about their lives, but to be able to take charge of that conversation and create a really good time, a high energy, positive time that leaves both people walking away feeling as though something wonderful has just happened. Surely that must help get more nail clients. If that's such a good experience being with that young lady and being reminded of your own wonderful experiences, your own powers, your own insights, what you've learned in this lifetime, it's just a wonderful thing. Just having a look at a few comments here. Ilka, good morning, my darling. I hope you are feeling better. She says, yes, I know too that Star Matrix is the way. It's people don't. Some scientisty people don't like this, but there is a sense of excitement. There is a sense that we have when we're in the presence of something that is positive and beneficial, and I have that with Star Matrix in spades, to the point that I'm, Jesus Christ, I've got this thing. How the hell can I share this more widely? How? I live in trust that my soul will guide me in the right direction. Lioness of Gaia says, Star Matrix is beautiful, simple, and powerful. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lioness. That is very, very true. It's beautiful in its loving concept of the universe and the place of human beings within that we're not here to suffer, that we're here to have these fantastic experiences with the world, with nature, with other people, with God itself, the great creative order, if you prefer that term. It is simple. Yes, so simple. Tell me about something that makes you happy, just for a change. And powerful. The instant response as soon as you get someone talking about something they love. That instant lightening up as a different person in the room. Now that is energy work. That's modern energy work. I love it. I absolutely love it. There's no client resistance. There's no arguments. There's no fighting. There's just one person saying something to another, and that other person lights up like a candle flame. Wonderful. I can hear somebody there, some objector saying, like, yes, but if you ask somebody who's depressed of something that they love, or they will tell you nothing, there's nothing there. Well, we should be doing this long before we get to a point where somebody gets to be that depressed. But should it be, just look at them. There's something they love. They might love cats or dolphins or crystals. Have a look what they're wearing. Have a look what they got in their environment. Just have a look. People wear their love on their sleeves, literally. Literally wear their loves on their sleeves and on t-shirts and in jewelry or clothes they wear. Amazing. So simple. See, Alex Kent says, Star Matrix makes so much sense. It'll take a few years for the world to embrace their positive memories, but that change starts today. Yes, it does. It does start today. Star Matrix is the way, and it is. And I would ask you to forgive me for being overwhelmed by all the many applications and things. We learn so much about how our memories work, for example, by focusing on the high positive memories, because they're not all scratched and disturbed and torn apart and chaotic and shards of splintered mirrors drenched in blood. There are beautiful, perfect vistas where we can walk in our memories with all our senses. The way we access them, how they connect with each other, all these things could never have been learned by studying trauma memories. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Oh, man, just the tip of the iceberg. So yeah, cool. Star Matrix is the way. Something that I would like to mention is people are seeking healing, soul healing, life healing. And if you are one of those people, or you know somebody who seeks life healing, Star Matrix is the way. I know this from my own personal experience. I thought I had this terrible childhood. Of course I would have thought that, based on all the trauma and all that stuff. Of course I should have thought that. But it turns out I didn't. I had an extraordinary childhood, filled with such treasures and riches. And they are so personal to me and my life's journey. And they could not have been had in any other way. This is life healing. And also, I found through the star memories connections between aspects across time, like something that a little 3-year-old child made, and that then comes back, that theme, that topic. I'll be specific. When I was 3, I made a little book, a picture book. I was absolutely amazed by my mother's office stapler. And I found out that you can staple pieces of paper together. So I made a tiny little book, less than the size of a matchbox, with pictures, just drew pictures because the aspect couldn't write at that point. Little pictures of a story, and I can't remember what the story was. Yes, I can. Yeah, Christmas story. His first picture was just of a little child. Stick figures, these are. Little child, and next one was child with a family, and then Christmas tree and a big parcel, and there was a puppy coming out of the parcel. And that was the book. And stapled it together and was so excited to have made a book at age 3. So excited. Turns out now I'm 63 and I own a publishing company, and I've written a few books and I made a few books, including picture books. And these connecting things across your life, where you can see that the aspects, the high energy, the happy aspects, they show you connections, unfoldments, reunification across your life. Oh, I could go on for hours. So if you're seeking life healing, Star Matrix is the way. You will never, ever, ever heal your life by trying to remove all trauma that ever happened to you. It's an endless quest. It's waste of time, waste of space, waste of money. You want life healing, Star Matrix is the way. And I'm saying that in public, and I'm willing to stand by it too. Yeah, so, okay. Star Matrix is the way for life healing. It's definitely the way for better self-esteem. This I already presumed before we started. But Star Matrix can also heal trauma, specific trauma, which is interesting. If you've got one particular trauma spot there, trauma flashbacky sort of thing, I would encourage you to have a look around that time for some serious star events. That's a topic for another day. We haven't got time for that, but I found that in so many occasions that there were star events close in temporal proximity to a massive trauma. And once you get past looking for the trauma and start looking for the star events, something remarkable happens to the trauma that you were stuck on. So there's something worth thinking about or possibly exploring with the Star Matrix Pro. Thank you, Lioness, for your comment. Oh, yeah, it's quite fun, isn't it? Little book when I was 3 years old, and I am now 63 and I'm still making picture books. It's wonderful. Love it. Absolutely love these sort of wow moments of connection and discovery. Yeah, guys, I could go on for hours about how amazing Star Matrix is and tell star stories from now until infinity. I have so many of them. And knowing that this is so has changed my attitude to my life, to my work, to me, to in a most profound way. I am now grateful for my life. I'm super grateful for all those extraordinary star memories. If I drop dead tomorrow, please know that I'm not going to be upset or, oh dear, I should have done so many other things, and oh, my bucket list wasn't fulfilled. Forget the bucket list. Oh my God, the star events in my life. You'd need not just a swimming pool. You need a glorious sparkling lake in the Alps to hold it all, or possibly Loch Ness, which is super deep. Or even more, oceans of star events. I had the most amazing life. And I never really knew that. But now I do. Now I'm grateful, happy, and just look forward to what's going to be happening next. And something has to happen with Star Matrix. Somehow or other, we got to get the message out to more people. Somehow or other, we really need to find a way. Star Matrix is the way. We've got to find a way to tell people that Star Matrix is the way. Really. There are so many people who need to hear this for so many different reasons. Oh, God, so many different reasons. Uh, yeah, so, okay, I'm going to leave you now with, and I'm going to encourage you to do the following. Please tell star stories, your star stories. Tell them on social media, tell them at gatherings, get a conversation started. Because what happens is when you start telling a star story, then other people start remembering theirs. It triggers people. Ha! Like microaggression triggers people into deep trauma and abreaction. Telling a star story of your own triggers other people to remember their star stories. And their reaction is that enlivening moment of when their energy system wakes up and they're starting to smile and they're starting to actually breathe for a change. And it's a positive injection of something wonderful. So I encourage you to go ahead and trigger people by asking them about what makes them happy, by telling them a star memory. And please do recommend starmatrix.org. Just go and check it out. It's just got the whole first chapter of my Star Matrix book on it. You can read that for free. You can start your book of stars for free. I don't care if people never buy the book, never go on the course. I honestly don't care. I just feel that more people should know about Star Matrix, because Star Matrix is the way. I am going to thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you for helping me to share the message of, essentially, this is the power of the positives. And we need to save the suffering energy bodies out there from the madness and the stress and the terrible, terrible, terrible downward spirals, race to the bottom type madness that has unfolded in the last few years. Stand firm in love. We're not here to suffer. We're not here to make other people suffer. We come from stardust. We come from love. And to stardust we return. Lots and lots of love to you. I hope you enjoyed today's energy show. And I look forward to seeing you afresh for Sunday Live with Sylvia. Lots of love, and bye for now.